Doctor Who Vengeance on Varos, the third story of the Sixth Doctor, is written by Philip Martin and starring Colin Baker and Nicola Bryant. Originally there was going to be a serial called Song of the Space Whale by comic writer Pat Mills, so then the titles got changed to Domain and Planet of Fear. A lot of people voted it being similar to Planet of Fire, and it was to be season 20. However, it was constantly pushed back and rewritten. We have an opening with nice looking planet surface, Varos, in 23rd century, and poor Jonda is getting chained up, being tortured whilst on broadcast. The Doctor is fixing the TARDIS console. Perry complains that the Doctor has caused 3 electrical fires, a power failure, nearly collided with a storm of asteroids, got lost in the TARDIS corridors twice, wiped the memory banks of the fly computer, jettisoned 3 quarters of the storage, hauled and burned her cold dinner just after they left Telos. The Doctor gives up until Perry gave him the TARDIS manual, which should help, so he introduced Syl, the mentor representative of the Galatron Mining Corporation.
That is enterprising.
Is negotiating with the governor over the price of Varos, Zayton 7 ore. Bax recommended to the governor that Joanna should be killed. The TARDIS arrive after setting Joanna free. They outrun the guards. They're rescued by Areta and Rondell. Unfortunately, Rondell gets killed, but at least everyone got away. The TARDIS gets taken to Syl. Perry, Areta and Joanna gets captured. The bit where Maldek slapped Perry, I was like, whoa, dude! Throughout the story, Etta and Arak were watching the whole thing on TV. Etta really liked the Doctor. The purple room with illusion of fly looked so cool. There's a great cliffhanger where the Doctor was walking in the corridor with the illusion of desert, and he can feel the heat and the sweat. As soon as he passed out, Governor orders cut it out, meaning turn the TV off.
How long should I hold?
And cut it now.
What did you do? I turned off the wall. No, you didn't. You turned off the whole movie. I must have pressed the wrong button. Well, put it back on. Put the movie back on.
Yes, sir. Colin Baker is great as the Sixth Doctor. I liked his comedic. Plus, he picked this cliffhanger as his favourite. Nicola Bryant is also great as Perry Brown. She picked this story as her favourite. Nabil Shaban plays Syl, a mentor who became the representative of the Galatron Mining Corporation on the planet Varos, like I said. His costume is nicely done. The villain is creepy. I like the fact that he laughs like la 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 la. Mentors, aka Thoros Beta, are amphibian race from the Thoros Beta. Interesting concepts. Martin Jarvis plays the governor, the 45th governor of Varos, who wanted to negotiate higher prices for Zeton 7 from the Galatron Mining Corporation, but was constantly thwarted by the chief officer, who was in league with Syl to keep the prices low. I really like that character. Brian Blessed, George Baker, Keith Barron, John Carson, Frank Finlay, Julian Glover, John Hallam, Terence Hardiman, John Hertz, Derek Jacobi, Michael Jaston, Dinsdale Landon, Ian McKellen, Anthony Valentine and David Warner were considered for the role. Jason Connery, the son of Sean Connery, the original James Bond, plays Jonda, a rebel prisoner on Varos. He's very likeable. Geraldine Alexander plays Areta, who's also a rebel prisoner, and Jonda's wife, she's great too. Nicholas Chagrin plays Quillam, the technical director, principal deviser of programs on Varos, and the controller of everything that happened in the Punishment Dome. Mutilated his own face by experimenting with it and wore a mask which covered one eye. He gives off great performance. The effect on his face is horrifying. Owen Teale plays Senior Guard, Madlack 239. Who works as an officer guard. He gives off great performance too. The actor later played Evan Sherman in Torchwood Countryside. Forbes Collins plays the chief officer of Varos, Syl's bodyguard. He's badass. Tony Counter, Tom Chalburn, Peter Childs, Michael Gulver, James Ellis, Tom Georgeson, John Hallam, Terence Hardiman, Don Henderson, John Hollis, Ronald Lacey, Edward Peel, Clifford Rose, John Sevident, George Swerwell, Patrick Stewart, Donald Sumter, and Malcolm Tyrone were considered for the role. Stephen Yardley, who previously played Severin in Genesis of the Daleks, in this story plays Arak, a Varosian miner who does a great job. Alan Armstrong, Nicholas Ball, Jim Broadbent, Andrew Bird, Tony Counter, Tom Chadburn, Peter Childs, Kenneth Cook, Paul Darrow, Tom Georgeson, John Hallam, Brian Miller, Tony Osobart, Edward Peel, Carl Rigg, Colin Scully, Donald Sumter, and David Warwick were considered for the role. Sheila Reid plays Etta, the wife of Iraq, who both enjoyed watching what's going on in the punishment dome. She gives off great performance. Sheila later played Clara's gran. Graham Cole plays Bax, a camera technician in the punishment dome. Keith Skinner plays a god on Varos who was friends with Areta and Jondar. The casts are great, so is the music by Jonathan Gibbs and the direction by Ron Jones. The Doctor hasn't died from the illusion of desert, instead he gets taken to the acid bath, but things don't go as planned as the gods fell into the acid bath and burns away with the 6th Doctor's iconic line.
Forgive me if I don't join you.
Apparently, the acid bath sequence was much criticised for its tone and for the Doctor's flippant remark at the end of the scene. In the last draft, the story had a number of comedic sequences, most of which wound up being cut, and one of which, the acid bath sequence, was played seriously. The result was that the final story was much darker than originally planned. Meanwhile, the Doctor and Jondar were to be hanged. The Doctor warns everyone that if he dies, it'll stop Varos from ever processing out of the reach of extortion of such as the Galatron Mining Company. As they both fell into the trapdoor, it turns out that the rope wasn't tied up. Governor was considering believing the Doctor, but still believes otherwise. We get a freaky scene where Perry and Areta are mutating, covered in feathers. Quillam's face revealed to be mutated after Perry and Areta's mutation reversed. The Doctor and Jondar came to the rescue. The Doctor, Jondar and Areta headed to the end zone of the dome. While Perry's captured, Chief Officer got Governor off command and got Maldak to held them at gunpoint. Governor tries to convince Maldak to help them, but he couldn't bring himself to do it. So vote starts and the boardment begins, but Maldak has a change of heart and shoots the device to stop the boardment. Saving the Governor and Perry, they met up with the Doctor, Areta and Jondar. We get an intense moment where everyone were being chased by 2 cannibals, but they lost them, so in the end the invasion on Varos is cancelled. The Doctor and Perry says goodbye to the Governor, leaving Syl to be dealt with. But of course we'll see him again in the Trial of the Time Lord Part 5 to 8, Mind Warp. The Governor sends a message to everyone that there will be no more injustice, torture and executions. Arak and Etta couldn't believe it and have no idea what to do next. A lot of great stuff in there. Apparently Eric Saywards thought the serial was poorly directed. I don't think there's anything wrong with the direction. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. What did you think of this story? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.